Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll. And tonight I come to you with now looking at my muslin material that I want to use to make my body on for the F&B bubble, baby bubbles. Now there's different kinds of muslin material that you can buy out there. And if you're into the type of dolls that how many dolls I have, you'll understand why I have the amount of material that I do. Now the thing is that for these little dolls that are underneath 20 inches, they're 16 inches I would think at the most, 12 to 16 inches. You don't need a thick material like this. This is muslin can be very canvasy, or they call it duck material. Muslin can be, or canvas material, right up to tents, coats, and then we come all the way down to our dolls and whatnot, whatever else you want to use it for lighter things. Now the thing is, a lot of people will make trial clothing out of muslin and then go and put their cloth, the right material to the pattern and make what they want. They'll do a trial first and then they'll use the lighter muslin. This is a more stronger, heavier muslin material. This is great for my big dolls that are from like 24, 26, 28 inches. I have about 40 to 50 big babies up in my attic that are sitting in totes, and they will be using this material. This will be great for them, and that's why I have this heavier material. I've got a boatload of it because I've got a lot of bodies to make. 40 to 50, I think I got about 48 of big babies that I will be putting them up for sale later on and selling them because they're pretty much very close to the same. I don't need that many of them, but I do have this material. How did I get that many? Well, back when I was just getting into dolls, there was a doll hospital in the States that closed down, and you could buy big boxes of the dolls complete, but the only thing is, some had bodies, some did not. Some had their paint already taken off, some did not. I said, you know, they could put a box together for you of whatever you wanted, or you took what they had. And I just said, I'll just take whatever you put in there. Put a mixture. And I got a mixture. I bought 3 boxes from them. And back then, like I'm talking about 12 years ago, I was just turned 50. And this is why I got back into dolls, because I went nuts on these boxes. I think it was about 51, 52. So 10 years ago, a decade. And when I bought them, they were only $40 a box. And in there, now they're big babies, but the boxes were huge. When they came out, my jaw dropped. And these big, huge boxes came in full of these big 24 to 28 inch dolls. Some have names on the back, some do not. There was all kinds. There was a Chuckles in there. There was some Horsemen. There was all kinds of Century dolls. There was a bunch of different ones, some with no names, like I said. But these great big happy babies, you know, were all in there. And some were not as big, but most of them were. And so I thought, well, if I'm going to deal with these dolls, I saw the type of material that was on them and what I would need, and they pretty much would take the same body. They were pretty much structured the same way. So I'm going to use one body and make like 40 bodies. That's what I'm going to have to make down the road. Do several of them like do 2 or 3 like I'm doing right now at a time and deal with them. But anyways, I bought a truckload of this more tougher, heavier canvas. But I don't need that when it comes to these little F&B babies. This material right here will suffice. It's a lighter muslin material. It will work wonderful. Now, how would I use this material? You just can't lay it down. I know a lot. I'm not a big sewer. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a seamstress. I think I failed sewing in grade 8 or something, or came close to it. I might have passed, but just eked through. And the teacher had a talk with my mother that I just was not doing well in sewing at all. Home economics just was not my thing at the time. I didn't want to be in that type of thing. I wanted to do other things, you know, but not that. I think because back in that day, in the 70s, I was raised in the home and participating in that type of stuff already. And then to study it, my mother taught me, and I learned from her. And what she didn't teach me, I watched her. And so I think taking it in school just added. And for me, I wanted other things. I was more sports-minded. to be honest with you, I wanted to do hockey. I wanted to do baseball. I wanted to do soccer. I wanted to do a lot of those other things, but that was not it. Being in that classroom just bored my mind. I remember this one girl named Tracy, and she could sit down and sew like you wouldn't believe. And she just sewed and sewed and sewed, and I'm trying to do one skirt. And I'm just looking at her going, I don't know how you do it, but she just sewed away. No problem. One project after the other. I think it's just I was not there yet. And now I am. 62 years later, 62 years of age, and now I'm there. But anyhow, how are we going to use this material? Well, you just can't lay your pattern down, as I have learned. There's a thing called a bias, if I got the right name on it, and it's where the material stretches. So it doesn't stretch this way. Hear that noise? That doesn't stretch. But this way, I got to pull. I can feel the material stretching. And so anyways, I want to lay my pattern this way. No, wait a minute. I want to lay my pattern this way on here. Why would I want to do that? Well, when I look at the length of my pattern, let's get a piece of it out. Let's get the bigger piece out right here. Let's get this one out. Okay, I don't want to wrinkle any of that. Okay, so if I lay this on here, I'm going to be pulling on this, and I can feel the stretch on this one too, and I don't feel it here, okay? But the thing is that I'm going to be stuffing this doll and pushing and pulling on these seams. So I want to make sure as I'm pulling, I got some give. And it's not going to give on I'm not going to be pulling on the seams, I'm going to be pulling on the material itself. And as I push down and pick and pull down on that material, the material will take the beating, not the seams. So that's why I'm doing that. Also, picking up the doll, the material will give as you push up on the doll to pick up the doll. And instead of the material being taut, you got a little bit of give, and the material will take the give. That will take that part of the pushing up. But anyways, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm really saying a lot of this for those that are new sewers like me, beginners. I am not an expert. I'm just telling you what I've learned and what I have experienced through mistakes. Your mistakes will teach you hugely, especially this girl, it does. So anyways, there we go. That's what I'm going to do. So that's where I'm at. So wonderful stuff to learn all the time. I am continually learning. What I've learned today, sometimes I have to undo it because I did something wrong. And I'll tell you along the way if I've done something wrong. So we're going to lay the material coming up on my next video. We're going to cut out this pattern. We're going to lay it down. We're going to put some little pins around, and we're going to cut it out. That's what we're going to do. So anyways, lots of stuff happening here. So thank you for joining me. And if you're enjoying this, seeing what you're seeing here, okay, the development of this here, and the changes that are happening along the way for just one little doll we're doing right now. This is just one little doll. There's a lot of work behind these dolls, and I love it. And I love the adventure and the journey going through this, and seeing them develop and become the doll that they're supposed to become. And that's the exciting part, is returning them as much as you can to their original state. It's not always possible. It isn't. And so you have to forgive those areas and move forward. But lovely stuff. Hit the subscribe button if you're liking what you're seeing. If you're dropping in, thank you for dropping in. And hit the subscribe button, and give me a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. And if I said something wrong, and if I got the word bias wrong or whatever, if there's a better word or the more correct word, let me know what it is, and I'll use it the next time. But I don't mind, because I like to use the right words as I'm telling you about this stuff, especially for new beginners. We need the right words, but I'm excited about this, where it's heading. So thanks for joining me. More to come. And leave a comment down below. I'll read them. When I'm at nighttime, I'll go in about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm giving thumbs up to everybody or giving a few words. But thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.